I'm not ready for you to be here. This means we're nearing the end of our time together. The questions just get more delicious. This week, the question is, what is your big, compelling vision? I know you've heard this before. You've heard it said lots of different ways. We know, just like how you've been experiencing the secret power of journaling, the secret power of seeing your goals out in front of us, visiting them regularly, knowing how every day to compare the execution of our plan, our recently made plan, against the backdrop of our goals and our desires, and to know when to change those plans. To really honor and recognize that plans are amazing. They take 15 hours to make and 5 minutes to expire or retire or move, right? So we've been practicing these things. We've been doing small iterative experiments with change together. We've been chasing a compelling vision. We're here because we've shared a desire to see improvement and shared strategies and improved craftsmanship, the creation and development, if for only a moment, of a place where it's safe for us as managers and leaders to come together and to share. And through the shaking up of a larger set of our best ideas, mixed in with our best ideals, perhaps, we find an ability to search and sort that data and can ask ourselves, both from a kind of tougher to measure quantitative side, the softer, squishy side. We don't have to ignore this idea of gut check metrics and how it feels matters. And we also now have a wonderful way to surface and consider and change and evolve the more quantitative questions we ask, the easier to measure and answer, and that both of these together have served us really well in the backdrop of our weeks together, even if we didn't realize necessarily that was a big part of what was happening. We've also been honoring the notion of decentralized leadership and influence and growth and development and created through our model of sharing, our model of bringing communities together, our model of finding and helping small teams find each other and create visibility and community and collaboration around compelling vision. Is it important? Is it a good question? Why might it be an interesting topic? How can we as curious observers look upon the idea of visions and compelling visions and absent visions and not compelling visions, strong stories shared by successful groups, and some of those parts that do seem to be working really well, and fuzzy, blurry, or non-existent stories being a common trend and trait that we can taste, we can experiment for, we can just find within our community. This is powerful stuff. And if you'll let it, this question of what is your big compelling vision, married back with some of the other work we've done, all the way back to what do your people believe you value, right? The big compelling vision, it must be believable, but slightly bigger than the life we currently occupy. It must unify and pull us. It is one of your primary tools as a manager and a leader in an inverted world to put in the middle of the room and say, it's not for me that we work. It's not for the CEO that we work. It's for the customer. It's for who says, yes, please, thank you, may I have another? Whether you serve an internal customer as a component feature delivery team, or whether you serve an external customer as a feature delivery team, serving products, long-standing teams that can do just this. They can take the big compelling vision and they can put it in the middle of the room, and they can invite teams and employees themselves and others to speak into and on behalf of this vision versus individual disparate parts, which they are, and all the creativity which they have being loosely tied. It is now strongly tied to create a central gravity that allows us to step then powerfully into these self-organized structures, that when you're not around, when you're not available, when it's not your responsibility, perhaps it's your accountability, perhaps you're accountable for the result, but it is not your responsibility to deliver it. What can you do to powerfully lead in those moments when you're not in the room? And stuff. Sorry. There you go. I love these questions. Each week we meet, each week the energy grows, the information grows. Our opportunity as a collective, in a management group sense, an open management group, combining together in these little teams, giving us a stronger voice to be able to ask better questions and to be able to develop opportunities for those we serve and those we lead to go on their own journeys of improvement that help us all to rightly align in a way that is compelling and fantastic and helps be a great ally in our desire as an organization to serve the business's interest through creating amazing workplace environments, situations, and conditions where people love to work here and have amazing success, creating amazing outcomes for our customers as we go. It's gonna take one, a compelling vision and a series of similes and metaphors and a little bit of data backing it up to be able to move us powerfully in the right directions. I'm excited to see how you decide and explore measuring these ideas, testing the question, and exploring its application and meaning in your life, how your team explores it, and what do we come together as a community to suggest to ourselves we establish as a baseline, or a set of experiments, or a set of behaviors or strategies anyone might try and employ if they too want to test the power and quality of compelling vision and its role in the life of being an amazing manager or leader. Yes. All right. Lean in. I can almost guess, I can almost predict, we can do the math, and we can see statistically a measure of your success will be a measure of the amount of meetings, daily check-ins, daily high fives you and your team missed or made. So if the time's not working, if you can't make it to an opportunity, and if you can't make it to the opportunity, you know, get your pre-noting in ahead of time, review everyone else's notes after. If it's a recorded call, check it out, dig in, lean in a turn-based model, that works great, or reschedule. Try to reschedule over missing. High five, have an amazing week. See you at the end on the call. Cheers, bye-bye.